have you joined the Happily Ever After Club?
Happily Ever After Club?
हाँ, Happily Ever After Club. Membership is automatic once you buy your dream home from Amit Inamdar. He is both real estate and mortgage broker. One stop, no need to shop.
Oh, Amit Inamdar from Own Sweet Home.
Yes, that's Amit from OWN Own Sweet Home. Call him today, 510-364-6686. Again, 510-364-6686. Or visit ownsweethome.net. That is OWNOwnSweetHome.net. DRE number 013555522 and MLS 236574.
Hello listeners, welcome Power Hour listeners. This is RJ Renuka. Today we have an exciting show with Amit Inamdar. You are going to get the power packed 30 minutes of information on real estate contingencies and how they protect you. We always welcome you to call us in the studio number 510-657-1170 to ask a question on the radio. If you are unable to get in, you can always submit a question for a personal response. Just go to Amit's website, ownsweethome.net, and click on the radio show link to submit your question. And you can always find Amit Inamdar just by searching his name on Google. So, hello Amit and welcome to Power Hour.
Hey, thank you Renuka. Hello friends, Own Sweet Home and welcome to my show, Power Hour with me, Amit Inamdar. Home buyers and home sellers need to familiarize themselves with contingency clauses in real estate contracts. You know, they are not only used to protect you, however, they can be used as a good negotiations tool. Using them as a negotiations tool is a skill I use effectively to negotiate the terms and sometimes the price of the home. Other times they are just used to protect the buyer or seller interest. A contingency, you may ask, is a future event or a circumstance that is possible but cannot be predicted with certainty. I typically look at a contingency as a condition in a real estate contract. Typically, when you buy goods from a store, you get 30-day money-back guarantee, and it is difficult to return the house. Therefore, when you get into a contract, you can investigate the house condition during the contingency period. This allows you to evaluate the home and its condition and allows you to make sure it fits all your needs and wants. It's like, test driving the home in a way, before you really buy it during the contingency period.
Isn't that the word, Amit, that was forgotten in last few years of real estate market? That was like high demand and very limited supply of homes, which is still true. I mean,
some homes are like that still. And even if you write the contingencies today, the seller's agents ask you to remove them. You don't have to. But people are so used to having non-contingent offers, And that's the reason, the contingency word was forgotten. It's coming back. And there are tons of blogs online about how to get your offer accepted with no contingencies and buying the home as is and its present condition. Many sellers will do upfront inspections and seller disclosures will be provided so that buyer can be given a comfort level about the property condition or a discomfort on the involved cost when they move into the home. It's about knowing what you are getting into.
So listeners, Amit's first time home buyer webinar is a great resource to understand the real estate contract and related contingencies. You can view this webinar on Amit's website, ownsweethome.net. That is OWNSweethome.net. The link is located on the main page slider. And to get to Amit's website, all you have to do is Google Amit Inamdar, real estate broker, and you will know ways to find Amit. So, Amit, you are talking about the contingencies today.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of contingencies exist in the real estate contract?
All right. So, as I said, contingencies are conditions, right? And to understand the impact of contingencies, it's necessary to know that when you make an offer on the home, you typically deposit 3% of the home price, as a earnest money deposit towards the home purchase. This deposit represents your seriousness to the seller for the purchase of the property. And protecting your deposit is important to us, and the contingencies protect your deposit as long as a wrong purchase from future unforeseen events. Typically, contingencies buyers have are, like Renuka asked, loan contingency, appraisal contingency, inspection contingency. There may be a seller disclosure contingency, other disclosure contingency, title report contingency, or a sale of your current residence that must happen for you to buy that new home contingency. One can put any contingency they want as long as the other party can accept that in the purchase contract. On investment properties like say multiplexes, we put contingency to view the property by the buyer. Offer gets accepted in those cases even before you buyer sees the investment property, just based on the numbers. And after the offer acceptance, we will go view the property and remove the contingency if the property looks acceptable to the investor. Even sellers have contingencies, like if they sell the home, they should find a new home. So they will say, I have a contingency of finding a new home within certain period. Or they may say, I have a contingency of having a rent back after the close, and if you're not going to give me that, then I'm not going to sell it to you. So because they need to have some extra time to stay in the house before they move to another one.
So listeners, you are listening to Power Hour with Amit Inamdar. Do you have any questions regarding real estate loans? Amit will answer them right here, right now. Number 510-657-1170, 657-1170. So Amit, you talked about so many contingencies. What do they mean actually? Can you explain in detail?
No, absolutely. Especially when you're a first-time home buyer, a lot of these terms may not mean much unless you really dig into it. For example, we talked about a loan contingency, and that means if you buy, you will buy the home basically, provided your loan is approved. So, for example, imagine a situation that you are so confident that your loan will be approved, and you do not have such a condition in the home purchase. And if for some unforeseen event or reason your loan is not approved, then your 3% deposit can be taken by the seller as liquidated damages. So when I represent buyers, I'm very protective of them. I'm protective of my clients. I remember a situation where on the 25th day of the contract, you typically close in 30 days, buyer got laid off from the job. Lucky for my buyer, I had delayed the removal of loan contingency. Buyer had informed me of possibility of layoff, and I delayed the contingency removal. Buyer got his deposit back. Seller was upset since 25 days of marketing time was wasted, and he had to market the property again to find a new buyer and additionally work with the new buyer's contingencies. It goes long ways to say about the agent representing the seller in this case, who was not on the top of the contract timelines and the actions required. So the contingencies can protect one party and hurt another. Another situation may be seller has a contingency in the contract that he must find a home he likes, otherwise he will not sell the property, or the buyer cannot buy that property. In this situation, if seller cannot find the property, all the efforts by buyer, including the money spent on inspections, appraisal, and home buying process, are lost. This is a supply related market situation, and that's what typically happened, and sellers were not able to find the homes during that contingency period, and the buyers just kind of wasted their time and money and just did not get the contract completed.
True. Interesting. So you also mentioned appraisal contingency. Why it is so important?
The appraisal contingency basically states that unless the home appraises at the value you are paying, you will not buy the home. Just look at it this way. You paid for a home 100,000 above and it appraised 50,000 below what you paid for, then you are paying 50,000 higher, So putting this particular type of contingency requires a carefully drafting the purchase contract, so other party cannot suspect your intentions. However, it can protect you. Another reason the appraisal contingency becomes important is when the lender is approving your loan. Just because you agreed to pay, say, 50,000 above asking price, does not mean the lender will give you a loan for that extra amount. If the home appraises 50,000 lower, then the 80% loan is based on the appraised value of the home, assuming you are putting 20% down, and plus you will have to pay that extra 50,000. So if seller refuses to lower the price, then you have no option but to back out of the contract or lose the money spent on the inspections during that time period. Imagine the frustration one has to go through when your dream home just slips away because of improper structuring of your purchase contract.
So you have to have someone who knows this business.
No, absolutely, and we do this day in and day out for our clients, and we protect them, protect their interest, and that's what we do. So.
Yes, 18 plus years in the business, Amit.
Yeah.
That's what we have been doing. So I know it's very devastating for the family to lose their dream home. But then, do they have any other options, Amit?
Look at it this way. They could have made a mistake of overpaying for the home. Okay, if they basically lost that particular home because of appraisal contingency and they had to back out, right? And they could have made a mistake of overpaying for the home.
True.
If they did not have an appraisal contingency and the loan were to be rejected due to low appraised value, they could have even lost their earnest money deposit if they didn't have appraisal contingency. So now let's talk about inspection contingency, because we talked about loan and appraisal. So typically when you purchase a home, you want to sell a home, property inspection, termite inspection, roof inspections are very typical. Property inspection is a general property inspection, and they check many aspects of the property ranging from electrical systems, plumbing, HVAC system, the chimney, etc. They also look for leaks, like roof leaks. They check appliances such as dishwasher, garbage disposal, and also look for any unauthorized improvements. I remember last year one of the homes showed evidence of mold, and seller then corrected all the mold issues. The remediation cost them almost $12,000, actually more than that. And imagine born not having inspection contingency and later on realizing the toxic mold causing health issues. So it won't be just the headache of having the health issues, but also to remedy the situation and then hating yourself for not having protections in the contract that could have avoided the stress on the family.
Wow, that is serious, Amit. Does this mean that one should look for like brand new homes?
Where are they building those, right? That's my next question,
Out of the area, of course, for sure.
So, newer homes will have fewer issues, okay? Real estate is all about location. New area homes are close to freeways, railway lines, and industrial areas are not necessarily in a desirable school district. If they create their own school district, I've seen those homes like really in demand, like that happened in Dublin and San Ramon. The right thing to do is to make sure you complete all evaluations of the home. If you do take the risk by accepting seller reports or as is property condition, you are aware of possible consequences because you already know what you are getting into. Termite issues can be present also in the new home. Okay, imagine all these homes getting built. The rain is happening, and if the wood is not dried up and you just you put a drywall on it, and that can cause mold inside. And I remember there was like insects in the wood that was getting installed in one of the newer homes. So there was an insect present and already, and the wood member was already damaged. So those things can happen. So you do have to have inspection contingency in your contract whether you're buying a new or an old home.
So listeners, you are listening to Power Hour with Amit Inamdar. If you have any questions regarding real estate loans, give us a call 510-657-1170, 657-1170. So Amit, you are a certified negotiations expert. So tell me, how can you use the inspections as negotiation tool?
Okay. So if you have an inspection contingency in the contract, after you complete your evaluation, you have ability to negotiate with the seller on correcting these deficiencies. You can also use the cost to reduce your purchase price or do them later by shopping around at lower cost or even save more. We have a caller coming in, so let's take the call. Hold on a second. Let me put on my...
If you are trying to call, do give us a call again. The number is 510-657-1170, 657-1170.
So again, continuing with this negotiations for inspections, However, you need to understand that sometimes lenders will require these repairs to be completed prior to you owning the home. We currently had a VA buyer, veteran buyer, and then the VA loans require the Section 1 to be completed, and it must be completed by the seller, and buyer cannot increase the price to have the seller pay for it. All kinds of things, So we have a caller coming in.
We have a call.
Hello, you are on the air. This is Amit. How can I help? Hello.
Yeah, I have a question regarding purchase.
Yes, go ahead. What's your name?
So the question is, I'm a new should be the new buyer, but I don't know what I should know before to buy a house. And second, I have a 401k amount, and I use towards this purchase.
Yes. So for the first-time home buyer, first thing you want to do is go to my website and have a first-time home buyer webinar. Okay. It goes around maybe around 50 to 55 minutes, and it gives you the overview of the whole home buying process. It tells you how to get pre-approved, what are the real estate contracts, how you negotiate them, how do you evaluate the property, what are contingencies, what are school districts, and how you select a good neighborhood for you and your family. So that kind of...
sorry for interrupting, but do you have some kind of checklist on the website as well?
My website should have a checklist there. I mean, just go under home buying and you will see that. But watch the webinar, because that gives you... That has answered more than 100% of the questions the first-time home buyers had.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then just because you learn new things, then you have new questions, because you learn something new. And then you say, okay, how does that apply to you? And that's when you and I will have a one-on-one meeting to discuss your, say, loan pre-approval and neighborhood selection. And I basically specialize in finding the neighborhoods where you can buy an affordable home.
And also, Amit will explain how you can use your 401k to,
that's my second question.
And typically, you have to read your 401k plan documents, but typically the lenders, the 401k plans allow you to borrow 50% of your 401k value or $50,000, whichever is less. Okay, and then the interest on that loan you pay to yourself. So, and that particular debt is not considered towards buying the home, because you're borrowing money from yourself.
Or basically, it's kind of lost. The end of the way, it's a loss of go through the 401k.
Not a loss. A lot of people use that, and they will return the money sooner than what is required. And as I said, since you pay the interest to yourself, you're borrowing money from yourself, and you're putting extra money into 401k with interest. Okay. So people consider that as a really good way of using 401k, especially when you're buying your first home.
Okay.
All right. What is your name?
What's your website, by the way?
My website is ownsweethome.net. OWN.
Ownsweethome.net?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
Shahid.
Thank you, Shahid.
Yes.
Look forward to hearing from you. Okay.
All right. Thanks for you.
Bye.
Help.
Do you want to take a break?
Yeah, we can take a break.
We'll be right back.
Own sweet home, own sweet home. I dream of my own sweet home. Right here, right now, Amit Inamdar will show you how. Call Amit and you are set. Or just visit ownsweethome.net.
DRE license number 013555522 and NMLS number 236574.
Welcome back, friends. This is Amit Inamdar, and if you are in the market to sell, buy, or finance your home, you will get unbiased advice that will save you money, and that is my promise to you. To get hold of me, just Google my name, Amit Inamdar, Real Estate Broker, and you will know ways to find me. Having all your questions answered at one location and by one person means saving time, money, and having peace of mind that you are being cared for by someone like me who knows this business. Today we are talking about protecting your purchase with contingencies.
So, Amit, we talked about some of the buyer contingencies. What kind of contingencies seller may have?
Well, as mentioned before, seller may have a contingency of finding a replacement property before they sell the current house. We discussed that such contingency may be, face difficulty performing in the low inventory market that we used to have, may not have that kind of trouble today. And additionally, second-time home buyers are, more picky. Like this seller basically who wants to move out is a second-time home buyer. And since they are more picky, they would say, I want the house exactly this way or that way, and it will actually be lot longer than what they anticipated in finding that replacement property. So my suggestion is buyers, if things like that happen, just move on to the next house.
So, what I have seen is many sellers, before marketing their home for sale, they paint the home, they remodel, and home looks really beautiful. So when the seller is providing you all the disclosures, how does one even suspect any issue, or even the reports when they provide all of those?
Right. So the reports and disclosures will kind of identify any issues are there. Okay. But without them, just because the home is painted, does not mean it's a good thing. The painting the house, seller may be actually hiding the defects. Okay. However, over a period of time, those defects may reappear, because if there are stains, those stains will start seeing through the paint. It's not always possible to find out everything that you want to know. However, seller's written responses may protect you against hidden defects in future. So, seller already knows there were stains and he painted over those, so he may have to tell that. Some misdisclosures may be unintentional, and some may be intentional. So coming back to issue of seller disclosures, we talk about death in the property, right? And you have to always worry about, like, how do you feel about that? Maybe and those are the things basically.
Some buyers are comfortable with the disclosures. Some buyers are not.
Some death in the property, some are not. And again, you have to know the circumstances under which the person passed away.
True. You remember, Amit, there was a situation where seller did not talk about a sewer backup, and then our buyer, when he had a problem after moving in after 3 months, and then the seller, we called the seller and seller, I have the number, and then I will give you the number, and then the buyer, he paid for like a whole year of.
Yeah, actually, what happened was the buyer moved in, and 3 months down the line, the bathroom downstairs clogged up, and he ended up hiring somebody to fix it. And they actually did a ultrasound through the garage, and they figured out there was some object in the middle of this garage thing, and they actually opened it up and they removed this small toy that was put in there. Now, it was the toy my buyer had put in. Okay, so we just kind of asked seller a benign question. Hey, Mr. Seller, downstairs bathroom is clogged. Do you know any good plumber? And the seller kind of said, oh yeah, we know this. Our bathroom is to get clogged like every 3 months or so, and he will come and do a really good job. Just call him and he will fix it for you. And then the moment he said that, we looked at the disclosures. There was no disclosure like that, and all these things had cost my buyer around $2,100. So the moment we got that email from the seller, the next email that went out to the seller's agent that said, hey, here is a bill for $2,100. Your client forgot to disclose. So a lot of times the good intentions may come back to haunt you. So you need to make sure these are legal contracts and you get the right advice.
So listeners, Amit's home buyer webinar, just like it is a must for all home buyers, Amit also has a first time home seller webinar. Amit, you would like to talk about that?
The first time home seller, or I call it a seller webinar, will get you through the 7-step Smart Move program. The Smart Move program is designed to get you top dollars for your home. Remember, there is no exact price for real estate. The price is where buyers and sellers agree on. Question is, how do you make buyer to agree for paying higher? This is where home pricing skills come in. This is where home marketing skills come in. And this is where negotiation skills come into play. You have heard this again and again. I am a certified real estate negotiations expert. So the 7-step Smart Move program takes advantage of these negotiation tactics as well as all the preparations required for a successful sale, including home pricing and aggressive marketing. The strategy at the heart of my program is greater exposure leads to greater demand, leads to higher price. So homeowners, if you are interested in knowing more, just call me to request access to this comprehensive system.
And to get hold of Amit, all you have to do is Google Amit Inamdar, real estate broker, and you will know ways to find Amit.
Have you joined the Happily Ever After Club?
Happily Ever After Club?
हाँ, Happily Ever After Club. Membership is automatic once you buy your dream home from Amit Inamdar. He is both real estate and mortgage broker. One stop, no need to shop.
Oh, Amit Inamdar from Own Sweet Home.
Yes, that's Amit from OWN Own Sweet Home. Call him today, 510-364-6686. Again, 510-364-6686. Or visit ownsweethome.net. That is OWN Own Sweet Home.net.
The views, opinions, and statements